Good afternoon, Salford family. Maria and I bring you our greetings on this Friday afternoon in week 6 of our local experience of the coronavirus pandemic and all the changes and challenges it has brought into our lives. We continue to hold you all in our hearts and prayers, and we think of you often, wondering about the particulars of what you find yourselves up against and what joys and gladness you are finding in the midst of it as well.
By now we are finding some sort of rhythm, aren't we? As unsettled as it may still feel. And our church rhythms continue too. Our worship service will begin again at 10 on Sunday on Facebook Live, with pre-service music beginning at 9:50. And a number of second-hour class groups will meet by Zoom at various points through the week. And the youth groups will meet a few evenings a week as well.
But even though it's all a little more familiar than it was just a few weeks ago, I think we still all recognize this is not easy. We are working hard, all of us, just to manage how our lives need to be right now and are likely to need to be for some weeks to come. Whether it's digging deep for patience and resources while the whole family is at home together all day long, every day, or thinking through all the steps that need to be taken to bring home groceries safely, other essentials, or gearing up to go out for those who are still working away from home, or assessing what risks we have encountered on a given day. This is hard work.
And that doesn't include some of the other fundamental losses we are experiencing throughout this. Not being able to be with extended family and friends, missing out on hugs and handshakes, the weeks and soon to be months of lost classroom time, loss of income, loss of financial certainty and security. All of this takes so much emotional energy, and the stress that it puts on our whole mind-body system is real.
Some of us are needing to learn at new levels how necessary it is to practice kindness, not only to those around us, but to ourselves. Recognizing that it's appropriate to lower our expectations of ourselves where we can right now, just because it requires so much extra, merely to manage the daily tasks of living, to cope with the barrage of information and uneasy updates that come at us each day.
But even as we experience and name how hard all of this is at times, we also, as people of faith, can send our roots down deep into the goodness of God that God makes available to us through it all. We can name some of the gifts that we're experiencing right now and take them in as best we can with gratitude. Each breath, getting out into the fresh air, the bright colors of springtime, staying connected in the ways that we can now.
And from that goodness we are experiencing comes the added goodness of finding ways to reach out and offer help to others in ways that are possible for us. There are numerous checklists floating around right now about how to maintain good mental and spiritual health in the midst of this pandemic experience. And as I think back over the ones I've seen, I think every single one has included something along the lines of helping or serving someone else in some way.
And that, of course, is the way of Jesus, whom we seek to follow. as we carry the weight of this current experience, we can know Jesus right here with us. And we can hear his voice and see his deep caring for all who are struggling, especially those who are already vulnerable to begin with.
So we want to leave you with that challenge today. What are the ways? Where are the places? Who are the people that Jesus is laying on your heart just now and is inviting you to do something for? Whatever you can, big or little. It all matters. And it's all part of our joining Jesus in what he is even now working to bring about here in our part of the world.
We have begun to talk about what that might look like for us as a congregation. And we encourage you to read the newsletter article this week about our congregational sharing through our benevolent fund. And we encourage you to give it some thought for what it might mean for you personally.
I was reminded this week by a friend's Facebook post of a portion of a blessing written by John O'Donohue that seems good for us right now. And aptly enough, this blessing comes from his book entitled To Bless the Space Between Us. So, across the space between us, this blessing. This is the time to be slow. Lie low to the wall until the bitter weather passes.
Try as best you can not to let the wire brush of doubt scrape from your heart all sense of yourself and your hesitant light.
If you remain generous, time will come good, and you will find your feet again on fresh pastures of promise,
where the air will be kind and blushed with beginning.
May the blessings of our most generous God be with you this day. We are here with you and for you. We think of you often and hold you in our hearts. Take care. Be well.